Good morning, and I'm going to bring on Sean. It's Thursday. Hi, Sean.
Good morning.
Yeah. You want to tell everybody where you're at?
Down in sunny Florida, in West Palm Beach right now.
Lucky you.
Yeah, so it's beautiful weather. I think it's 78 degrees out. So after the show, I'm going to get some Florida sunshine.
Yeah. I'm going to walk around in the soggy yard. And if you guys notice, George isn't here. He'll be here about 9:30 or something. He's in Tallahassee. He's testifying in front of the Senate and the House or something over there for the insurance bill to pass for the motorcycles and stuff. So he'll be with us later once he's done talking. So it could be sooner than that, but I'm not sure. But we got a really good guest today. We got Dr. Carole Lieberman. She's America's psychiatrist. You guys might have seen her on Newsmax with Ed. She is an author. She worked on the Gabby Petito case. And it'll be interesting because she's going to talk about TDS, and with all the Tesla stuff going on, you know, there's a lot of people that really, really need that kind of stuff. You know, I don't know what's going on, but they're kind of crazy.
They are. They full-blown crazy.
Well, yeah, we'll show we got some stuff after the interview today to kind of blend into that, because tomorrow we got Adam Swart. He's the CEO of Rent-A-Crowd. So this will kind of follow with each other and build into the next one tomorrow. So it's kind of like Tesla trauma and TDS this week. So.
Well, TDS could be Tesla derangement syndrome too, right? People are going.
Yeah, you can use both. I like the Tesla trauma because every time they get arrested, they don't realize they're going to be facing 20 years for that kind of stuff.
I mean, TDS became synonymous with Trump derangement syndrome. Now it could mean Teslas. I mean, how crazy is that, right?
Yeah, remember what is it? How long ago I kept saying they needed to build TDS centers across America, and if you want to,
you said it. You were a pioneer. You should have started it. You could have been like, a millionaire with all this treatment.
Well, why didn't you lend me the money to start it, Sean?
I didn't have it. I didn't have it to pick up a collection.
Okay, I'm going to open up with a prayer like we normally do, and then we'll bring Dr. Lieberman on. So this kind of fits today too. It's the crossroads. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And that's Mark 8:36. So it's basically the faith check is like, if you discover desire with what you want to do in this world, nothing can really satisfy it, unless you have Christ in your heart. So it kind of goes along with these people. They're just so out of it that they lost their light. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, that's an understatement, I guess, right? You could say a lot more if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, they're at a crossroads, all right, because they're either going to stop or they're going to go to jail. I mean, I don't understand it. But so we're going to bring on Dr. Lieberman, and maybe she can explain it to us about why these people are so crazy lately, because it's just nuts. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Fine, thank you.
Oh, we're so happy that you joined us. This is really nice because our audience really needs to know what these people are doing.
Yeah, for the record, there's no TDS in the chat or on this broadcast.
Yes. This is the new pandemic. We had COVID, now we have TDS. TDS really started during the election. Well, actually, it started before this election. It was even happening back when Trump ran the first time. But it's much worse now. And the difference also is that it didn't stop once he got elected. I mean, to some degree, it didn't stop at the first time, too. It kind of slowly was there all along under the surface. But this time, this election, during the campaign, of course, there was a lot of TDS. And let me just define that for starters. I define it as an irrational, quasi-psychotic hatred of anything Trump, resulting in rage and over-the-top efforts to destroy him and his work. And that was this time around, during the campaign, there was so much directed at making not Trump's positions, not his policies, not what he was promising, because really, how could you, if you love America, how could you disagree with, most of what he was promising and what he's now, enacting or trying to. So it's not the policies. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with him as a man. And what that has to do with is especially men who have TDS. There are women too, the Karens, the feminists, those kinds of women, but it's men. And that's because men are feeling intimidated by him. They don't feel that they measure up, so to speak, to him. And they don't like that. And so, he's bigger than life. Yeah. And people resent that. They don't, they're jealous of it. They're intimidated by it. And so basically they're having temper tantrums. And it wasn't just, during the campaign, you can kind of understand it. They're trying to, go rah-rah Kamala, good luck with that. But now, now it's not a question of whether he's going to win. He's won. And yet TDS still rages. And in fact, in some ways, it's even worse. I like what you were saying about it's also Tesla derangement syndrome. That's true. That's one of the most visible ways that we're seeing it now because it's Trump and it's anything Trump. So anyone associated with Trump, even J.D. Vance is really getting, getting more attacked than we usually see vice presidents get attacked. People on the side of the road when they were protesters were kind of aggressive, and even though he had his little toddler daughter with him, they were still being aggressive. I mean, these are crazy things. Mm-hmm. And so it's anyone in Trump's orbit, anyone who's trying to help Trump put his policies across. It's just this irrational temper tantrum.
Yeah, the violence is really ramping up too, and that's something I was really concerned about because it's gone from keying cars to setting them all on fire. And at what point are they going to moderate and it's going to peak? You don't really know.
Yes. It doesn't. I mean, because another part of this is that Trump has been enacting one thing after the other. And a lot of people don't do well with change. So that's part of it too. They're kind of like overwhelmed. It is this, they were always afraid that he was going to be this big guy and they were told he's Hitler. And so a lot of people are afraid of him. Because they've been taught this by the Democrats, that not just that he's, what he's suggesting is bad or for the country or wrong or he's misguided. No, he's going to kill you. He's going to put you in jail. He's going to, he's going to put you in jail if you commit crimes. But so it is this irrational fear of what he's going to do. And now that obviously Trump didn't figure these things out just when he got elected. He's been planning these things, for a very long time. And so when he's going bang, 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 one thing after the other, it's like they can't catch their breath.
Yeah.
Shock and awe is what it is.
Yes, right. Shock and awe.
Well, so many of them have cognitive dissonance, is what I think. It's that if they really tried to look at it, they wouldn't be able to deal with it, because it just goes against everything that they've ever thought.
Right. You mean if they realized how good these things really are? Yes, absolutely.
Gaslit themselves to believe in that they're just, this is so unmoral, and they're crazy with it. It really is. I don't know what to say.
Yes. So I'm just finishing up the proofing and reproofing this proposal that I'm making to the American Psychiatric Association to make Trump derangement syndrome a malady, an illness, a psychiatric disorder, diagnosis in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual. And I don't know that that's going to go through, because there are certainly a lot of psychiatrists who don't agree, who have TDS. So yes. I don't have a lot of hope, but it's the point. It's the point of trying to make this happen, and trying to get people to realize that this is a craziness.
Well, yeah, I mean, there really is something to it. It might not ever get a diagnosis code for billing or anything like that, but you have to recognize it as something that is really off. It's not normal. And, and maybe years from now it'll go away. But sometimes if this has been going on for 8 years, I don't ever see it stopping.
No.
Well,
they're dug in.
Well, I guess it depends, how long Trump is going to stay in office. And of course, when he's, suggesting that it might be a third term, that really sends them wild.
Yeah.
I just think he's trolling on that one, right?
What do you feel is the most insidious thing that is coming through with this? I know you can see the violence, but there's, in the long term, what do you think would happen with this?
Well, a good question. Yes, I do want to just mention, you talk about violence, we were talking about the Teslas, but an even worse outcome of this, or a symptom of this, is the swatting. That is so incredibly dangerous. People are swatting, people are calling the police, or calling 911, and telling police that there's a dangerous crime happening at somebody's house, somebody who's a fan of Trump, a supporter of Trump. And then the police come with guns blasting and or blazing, at least, with lots of guns to a person's house. And so much could go wrong. It's amazing. And I don't want to put a hex on it, but it's amazing that no one has been killed yet. Either the police, when someone might come out with a gun thinking, not really knowing what's going on, or the police shooting the person in the house because they think that, yes, this is a killer with a gun, he's going to be shooting somebody in the family or whatever. So it is, it's a situation that's ripe for someone getting killed, getting shot. So that the Teslas and of course the ultimate assassination, those are sort of the most violent kinds of things that people are doing so far. I guess you could say the protesters who assailed J.D. Vance, that was violent. I mean, they didn't physically hurt anybody, but it was certainly violent. And certainly the little girl thought it was terrified. So there was a violence in their assault, in their, being there in a threatening way. So, but where is it going to go? I worry that, Trump still is in danger every day. People don't realize that the TDS people are not thinking about, or if they are, it's in the wrong direction. They're not thinking about how Trump is risking his life every single day of his presidency, because there are certainly more people out there, who would like to assassinate him, and yet he's continuing to do it. he's risking his life every day for America. And, the TDS people really don't care about that. So it's hard to say where it's going to go. If it's going to, the judges have TDS who are stopping all different things, that the lawfare that didn't stop when he got elected.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to stop him on all sides. And so where is it going to go? Sometimes when, like, if they're like animals in Africa, when they're surrounding a prey and it's one person who kind of goes in and takes the first bite, and then all of them come in. So, that, I hate to say it, but that's a possibility. But other than that, they can't, they can't stop his presidency. Other than that kind of thing, they can't stop his presidency at this point. They just can try to stop all the different things that he's trying to put through. But I don't know. I really, it's hard to say whether it's going to get worse or whether. I'd like to think that when they realize that they're not going to change this, that he still is president and he's still going to be making executive orders and things like that, that they're going to give up and go home. But I don't see that happening soon. I actually did when he, right closer to the election, and I was at the inauguration, and around that time, I thought, oh, well, great. The TDS is going to simmer down. And he's elected, so what more could they do? But it's not and also not just what more can they do, but also when they see the things that he's going to do, when they see he's going to go through with his promises and he's going to make America great again, that they're going to tone it down, they're going to get tired and go home. But that isn't happening. So it's very hard to say exactly what is going to happen in the future. They're not, because they're not logical. They're not able to appreciate the positives of what he's doing.
Yeah. So I pray for his safety every day. And I've even added Elon Musk to that prayer because I think they want to do some damage to him too, obviously.
Yes.
So, and he doesn't have the protection with the Secret Service like President Trump has.
Yes.
We had one of our friends that was on the show. What was it, 2 weeks ago when Beard Vet was on?
Beard Vet, yeah.
And he was swatted. And I don't know if you're familiar with Beard Vet. He has Beard Vet coffee. So he's been on a few different things, but he got swatted just for being a patriot and selling coffee and being a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Yes. It's kind of like terrorists. Well, they are like terrorists. I since 9/11, I've become the terrorist therapist in addition to America's psychiatrist. And I help people cope with terrorism. And I have a podcast, The Terrorist Therapist Show, and I've written books on terrorism and so on. So I've been, since 9/11, I have been warning people about this and not just about helping them with terror attacks, but also trying to get people to wake up and realize that it's not done. The terrorists are still trying to take over. It's not just Israel and not just Jews. It's America, of course, and it's Europe. You just have to look at Europe. Of course, our mainstream media doesn't show us Europe, but I think if more Americans looked online, and I try to bring Europe to their attention on my show. But if they saw that Europe is being taken over by radical Islamist migrants, and that this is what they are planning for America, and have been let in by Biden, through the border, I think people would be more concerned. But anyhow, getting back to TDS, so they are a kind of terrorist. That they want to put. Well, I'm sorry.
No, absolutely they are. I agree.
And they're using, in fact, I talk about it in my book. I've written a book for children called Lions and Tigers and Terrorists, Oh My, How to Protect Your Child in a Time of Terror. And the first half is for grownups and the second half is for kids. And I talk about how the terrorist is like the bully on the playground and so on. And And so it's like, and I talk about them having, that terrorists are having temper tantrums. Like when they blow things up, it's a temper tantrum. And so it's really the same thing with TDS people.
Yeah. 100%.
How would you go? I'm sorry, Sean. How would you go about treating somebody with that, though? I mean, would it be medication? Would it be behavioral therapy? I really don't. I wouldn't
Shock
even
therapy?
Well, I divide people with TDS into 3 categories: the minor, the moderate, and the major. So it's different things depending upon what category you fall in. If it's minor, I always recommend in real life, for not just for TDS, for anybody with problems, I recommend talk therapy. So with people with minor TDS, you can try talk therapy, but not focusing on Trump, not focusing on the policies, not focusing on what it is that they don't like, focusing more on, in general, not just. Well, the thing is, with minor TDS, you can try to have them in a very non-judgmental, very gentle kind of way. You can get them to look at some of the things that Trump has proposed or is doing already, the things that particularly would help that person, whatever their circumstance is. Pick out the things that would, where it's the hardest for them to say that that's not good. And you can try that. But then for everybody, like, for example, I was saying that it's mostly men who have TDS. So the therapy wouldn't focus on Trump or his policies. It would focus on the man having low self-esteem, feeling inadequate as a man, and trying to make him feel better, more, more manly, more better about himself, that, which is basically regular therapy.
Yeah.
For everybody, feeling better about yourself. And then if once they feel better about themselves, they wouldn't be so focused on Trump, and they would be doing more in their own life to make, accomplishments and so on. And then for the people, the more major it gets, the worse it gets. The people who are blowing up Teslas, for example, they may need, and depending upon what symptoms they have, like I talk about, associated symptoms like paranoia or like hysterical, what's the word? Hysteria, depression, anxiety, PTSD, whatever kind of associated symptoms the person has, you could treat those with medication in addition to the talk therapy. So it's graduated, you have to, but there is possible, it is possible to be treated. You also get into, when did you first start feeling this way? It's kind of like with any sort of disorder. When did you start feeling this way? And then you try to get them to remember what it was that first got them to hate Trump.
What's the trigger? What triggered you for this behavior?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was it something you saw on television? Was it something Trump said? Was it, your spouse loved him, and so you reacted by hating him? Different kinds of things.
Yeah, many different things will trigger it.
Well, Sean, tell her what you did. You just like to confront them and ask them flat out.
I do. It's funny. So we flew into West Palm Beach yesterday, even, and it was, so me and my wife both had an aisle seat. To the left of me, there were 2 people that were flying back to West Palm, that go back and forth from Jersey to West Palm, or actually they live in Jupiter. And then to the right of my wife was their in-laws, who also lived down here. They went up for a funeral. Anyway, I just had to start engaging in a conversation. And I was trying to see where they were political wise, and they weren't biting. So my wife looks over at me, because she's, and she goes, "They love Trump." She's telling me so they were all Trump people, and I didn't really know. But the guy behind, because I said loud, I said, "Oh wow, we're flying to West Palm. Maybe we'll see Trump's plane on the runway, or Air Force One." And the guy behind my wife was some doctor, I don't know, plastic surgeon. And he was like, I think he was borderline TDS because he was like, oh, I hope not. It will ruin my trip. And, can you imagine? And I said on the plane as we were flying, back when Obama was president, I'll never forget, they had Marine One. I live near an Air Force base not too far in Jersey. And there was a Marine One flew, well, actually 3 Marine One choppers flew, and Obama was on one of them. And I wasn't a fan of Obama, but I thought it was very cool that they kind of flew over our neighborhood. I thought it was neat. Could you imagine today these people be throwing rocks at the helicopter as it's flying over? They're crazy.
Well, I might have thrown rocks at Obama.
but I love actually, and I got off of Trixie's question, but I love asking them questions and probing deeper and deeper. And as you start asking them questions, they almost get into a corner and they don't know how to get out of it, and they get all jittery, and then they just they take off on you. It's crazy, but they're all the same. They're all the same
because they don't have logical reasons. They can't say, I don't like him. He thinks this way about that. It's just they don't have an answer. They don't have a real good reason. So I said for Biden, however many people voted for him, and we know it's not as many as they counted.
81 million.
That at that time, the Democrats could have put up a parakeet as the candidate, and people would have voted for the parakeet because they weren't voting for Biden. They were voting against Trump. So whoever they would have put up would have supposedly won.
Yes, absolutely. They could have put out, it didn't matter what it was. It could have been a plastic bottle. They would have voted for him.
Plastic bottle. Yeah. Well, that's about what Biden was. He was just an empty vessel,
Well, I was talking back then. I did a lot of interviews about trying to warn people about Biden having what I called encroaching dementia. Encroaching, it was beginning at that time. And we have seen it encroach more and more, as the years have gone by. But nobody wanted to believe that. They just wanted to vote against Trump.
Yeah, they didn't care. Matter of fact, I remember Dave Portnoy, the from Barstool Sports that does the pizza reviews. I don't know if you know who he is, but he used to say Democrats would vote for a head of cabbage. They don't care. They vote for a head of cabbage over Trump. They don't care. Crazy times. But I think the media, you mentioned about Democrats, but I think the media has also played such a huge role in this TDS. Yeah. It's pathetic. I mean, when you got people like Rachel Maddow, who, you can just see the TDS in her. Some of these people on CNN, as they were, they just spew it, and it's like Chinese water torture. These people, they just keep on hitting it, and they believe it.
Yes. Of course, it's so interesting to see those shows, go down the tubes. Get it?
And I went to a Tesla. The Takedown Tesla Day to see what was going on in Princeton, New Jersey at a Tesla dealership this past weekend. And some of these people, they're all the same. They're all the same cast of characters. They have they had little signs up with Musk looked like he was Hitler. I mean, come on, because he went like that at the thing, and now they want to. The people are insane. They really are, and there's not even talking to them either. That's the other thing. Like, you can't even have a conversation where there's a meeting of the minds, because there isn't a meeting of the minds.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a shame that so many people have fallen for that, though. But like what Sean said, like the mainstream media, it's how do you want to say, enhancing it even more because they play into it and feed into it, and so it just keeps snowballing and snowballing. And that's where I was getting afraid because. I'm serious about when I said this. I said this a while ago when I was talking to Sean about the TDS treatment centers. At some point, like what you said about this is like a pandemic. I mean, is that really going to be, is there going to have to be some kind of mandated treatment? Because they did that for COVID. They wanted everybody to get a shot.
That's what we need, lockdowns for the TDS people.
A TDS vaccine. That's what we need, a TDS vaccine, right? Maybe it's some kind of drug to make them happy.
Yeah, well, you wonder, just because of the way it's going, and it seems to spread. It hasn't really slowed down or anything, but I was always concerned more about the violence. But you wonder what the family life is like, because are they poisoning, if they have children, are they poisoning their children? So you're going to have another generation of that coming up.
That's a good point. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, apple don't fall far from the tree, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the kids are hearing all the time, and then they're going to go to school, and they're going, do you know how bad? I mean, you can just see this, because I mean that's what they're doing with CRT and all of that. They're just parroting these, and trans and all of that. The kids in the school, the preschoolers are being taught all these things, so of course they're going to pick up what their parents are saying about Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my grandson is 8 years old. He was at school, and the teacher was talking about Biden and Trump and how she didn't like Trump. And he's smart politically. He's a pretty smart little kid. So Scoobs was talking to the teacher, and he went into his little Trump spiel. And she called my daughter and told my daughter that he's unreasonable in class and needs to be put on ADHD medicine. And so my daughter called me, and I told her, I said, don't you dare do it. I said, she just doesn't want to deal with him. They're all real hardcore liberals. So she got him into a private school, but I was so proud of this kid. The last day at school, he wore a little Trump t-shirt at the public school before he went to private. And he told them that he was blowing this popsicle stand, and he was going to go to the other school and make playgrounds great again. So I was like,
I love that.
Yeah, so I was proud of my grandson for that one. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's 8 years old, and like our family, we're conservatives and everything. But the nerve of her to take out her aggression on him and say he needs to be medicated and everything. No, he doesn't. She just didn't like his opinion.
Yes. Maybe that would maybe ADHD meds would be good for the TDS people.
Yeah.
ADHD meds, there are way too, just as a little side note, there are way too many people, not related to Trump, but just in general, kids, are way too many kids are being put on ADHD medications.
Yeah.
And that really has repercussions for the rest of their life. They've done studies that show that they are more likely to become drug addicts, when they become teens or later on when they're able to become drug addicts. So, and just in general, it's not good.
Wow. Well, it's like Trix. The only thing better would have been if your grandson would have went into school, had somebody with a video, and had a red tie on with a little blonde hair and said it, like it would have went viral. You did a little Trump.
Yeah, he needs to go back and visit the school and tell them what a good time he's having.
I just like that when he said he was going to make playgrounds great again. I thought that was hilarious.
The teacher must have melted.
Well, we've held you over longer than what I told you. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really enlightening.
Dr. Lieberman, thank you. It was wonderful. You shed a great light on this.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you again. And maybe, if you ever want to come on and talk about your books or anything like that, you're more than welcome to, because this is a really good discussion.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Have a great day. Thank you so much.
You too. Bye-bye.
I got to find you there. Oh.
And then,
What did I do? Where'd you go, Sean? There you are.
George knocked
Sorry
me
about
out.
that. Slipping my finger.
George, we're looking at. There you go.
Oh, there's trouble.
Okay, come here, kid.
Where's he
My
at?
adopted nephew. Look.
Who's this guy?
What
My
is
adopted nephew.
What is that?
Your adopted
No.
nephew?
What do you mean no?
Then you're my uncle. What are you talking about?
I am his uncle. We just passed the bill for the insurance, which is pretty good.
Awesome.
Good job.
One guy said no, and he's the one I endorsed last time he voted on him. He ain't getting endorsed this time, so that's the other one.
You
Yeah,
should have a
cool.
talk with him.
Oh yeah, no. Unbelievable.
Well,
When a
good
bike
thing it passed.
insurance. He's in bad shape. Really bad. Not good.
I saw
Not
your
good at
post. They voted already on that, huh?
Yep, we were right there when we were present. So listen, my battery's dying.
All right.
I just signed in to tell you it was a big success. His good friend Lori. Say hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori. How are you?
Hi, Lori.
She did a great presentation.
Snack bags.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Got Girl Scout cookies.
There you go.
Actually are.
All right. Well,
I can tell.
Are you riding the bike?
Yeah, she rides.
No, are you riding the bike?
No, my bike was got picked up the other night because it crapped out. It got towed into Holly. The other day was the clutch went. That was $510. I'm gonna have to start a GoFundMe page with Holly.
There you go. Go fund George's bike.
Yeah.
GoFundMe page. Get out of here. You're gonna want to take the money out we get out of the donations over here, but that's for the party. You're not getting it for your bike.
Yeah, no. It was very good. Great presentation. Really good. Thanks, man. Get it home. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you
Well,
very much.
drive
Hey,
safe back.
want to see JD Vance? JD Vance, come here. Look, we got JD Vance here. Check this out.
Look at this. Looks
Wow, he
like
does
him.
look like him, doesn't
Wow, look at that. JD's doppelganger. Look at that.
We brought the vice president to the hearing.
Yeah, we had the vice president on the show.
Well, we did good today then, Dr. Carole Lieberman and the VP. I mean, who are we gonna get next?
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, we got connections here. Godfather works very hard.
Oh, yeah, you always do.
My battery's dying, so say hello to everybody in the show. Appreciate you guys in the chat. But what's very important is our voting and that we know who we are. God bless everybody. Sign up. Oh, my battery's dying. Goodbye.
See you, George. Drive
Bye,
safe.
everybody. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I
Wow.
apologize to the chat. The chat had some questions. I asked if anybody had questions, and then just the way the conversation went with Dr. Lieberman, I wasn't able to toss them in. But I apologize to the folks who had the questions in there. I was just the way the conversation went, kind of pulled away from putting back questions. But I apologize.
Well, I apologize too because I'm doing double duty. I'm having a hard time. I can't read the chat and run the board and everything and talk at the same time. I was having trouble. So I'm kind of light on that. So that's why I'm not in there. But I'm going to put up that video from you from the Tesla stuff so they can see exactly what we were talking about. I mean, these people
TDS.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, I had a fun time there on Saturday.
Estate deal going sideways for Trump and Epstein to break up.
Oh, really? What? Yeah, let me see yours. Let me read it.
Ignoring isn't the same as ignorance. You have to work to ignore what's happening
wow.
here, right now. You can do
Hey,
that.
you know what, guys? I think they should fire Elon. I think Tesla should fire Elon. This way, it gives them more time to work with Trump. It gives them more time to work with Trump.
We have people who vowed to never buy EV. They're now.
Oh, not me. I was going to buy one last year.
They're completely misinterpreting.
I was going to buy one last year. I'm going to buy one next week.
You should burn it.
Yeah. I think they should burn you slime ball. Let me get you guys. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Trains. We should save the trains. Let's go. Look at this.
There's Musk as Hitler.
Anybody want to be interviewed for MSNBC News? Does anybody want to be interviewed for MSNBC? Seriously, I send stuff to Rachel Maddow all the time. You want something? No? Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey! I think they should fire Elon. And you know what? I will give him more time to work with Trump and make America great again. Yeah, make America great, baby. Make America great. Suck it.
I should pull up the MAGA hat.
Wait, look.
Of all the MAGA supporters, Trump supporters,
These are the Trump people.
we're out here in numbers more than ever before. And all the haters out here, we all know that for hate, they're not American, they're Marxists. They want to destroy our country. These forces, these are the same people that called President Trump.
That lady was a little crazy.
This was so funny. I was laughing all put it
because
together.
the Democratic Party is broken.
Look at the kooky white liberals. Look.
Broke the backs of the Democratic Party.
Look at the angry white
We
liberals.
are winning and
Look at the angry white
succeeding, and they
liberals.
can't stand that. So we say louder, Trump, 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 Trump. And we want to let them know that we're never going to bow down. Do we bow down?
No.
They wanted us to bow down.
No.
Years ago, we said no after they stole the election in 2020. They said we was going to bow down. No. Trump came back and kicked their ass.
Yeah. Woo!
So we stand strong for our president because our president supports us. He believes in us. The enemy is here. The enemy is
This is what mentally ill looks like, right here. There's a DJ and she's trying to blow the whistle. Look.
She was trying. They had a DJ with the big speakers, and she's blowing that whistle like she's going to do something. I actually had a conversation with her afterward. It's kind of funny.
I'm telling her to do it louder. She won't. I love this guy. Two old wackos.
There you go. That was great.
So, a lady blowing the whistle there in the red. I had a conversation with her and her partner afterwards, and it was funny because I had my phone, but I put it in my pocket, but it was kind of muffled, so I didn't give you that clip. But I asked her about, she was talking about Social Security cuts. I said, what's going on? What are you so upset about Social Security? She starts with, well, Elon's cutting Social Security for black and brown people. That's the shit they believe. These people, I said, where did you get that from? She goes, PBS. I said, PBS. She goes, oh, they're very down the middle, she says. I said, oh, yeah, they are. Okay.
Yeah. But they're so down the middle, they have to be supported by the government because nobody else will donate money to them.
Yeah, yeah. I had fun. I walked there. Matter of fact, there was people I asked questions to, and I didn't even put it on tape, but some people, like, it was funny because I had nothing said Trump on it or anything. I just went like kind of neutral just so I could. So because when you start talking to them, they at first they think like you're on their side. They start talking to you, and all of a sudden, as soon as you ask one question, their answer, and all of a sudden the second question, you see the blood level go through their head like this, and they get mad at you. And they look at you, and they start getting nasty to you. It's funny.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. I was laughing the whole time when I was putting those together and everything, especially with the crazy cat lady with the whistle. I mean, that was like, what did I call it when you sent me that? It was like a cat lady Karen or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, she was out there. But they had every cause under the sun, the trans, homophobic, against homophobics, Palestine. You name it, they all had their thing there. It was.
Didn't you have one sign that they were doing double duty too? That they had something for another protest on the back of it, and then flipped it around to have for Tesla on the front. Was that yours?
No, I didn't see that. No,
okay, that must be George's then. Because I put a couple of them. I've got another Tesla thing I'm gonna bring up, and this is the one that George went to, and how do you say it? Ferragio Blow. Was there too. Yeah, I'll put this.
Forgiato Blow.
Well, okay, Forgiato Blow. Okay, well we know what that is. That's back to the bike. On the way there. Who's hustling with it?
George's bike.
Yeah. You cut here, but I'll cut this sniper truck again. He almost got it. Wendy almost got it.
So look, man, real Americans are saving America. Look at this sign. My lady's out here with this today. Thank you, Elon. I love that. That was cool. My man wants me to sign the hat, so I'm gonna sign the hat for him.
All right, thank you.
America first, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Elon,
saying?
we love you, man. Keep up the good work.
Hey, get out. It's just funny to me. Like I said it 5 or 6 times, but the same people. Now look, the same people that went for years that wanted to mandate electric cars, right? These people wanted to say you got to go get a Tesla. They loved Elon. He loves Trump. Now they want to wipe their own okay, on cars, key cars, and say they're not doing, trying to defund companies that they really kickstarted building up. Only libtards, man. Only libtards. Go buy a Tesla. If you were conservative and you got some extra money, buy a Tesla, baby.
Yeah, don't try and...
This is my Tesla right here. I know I have the best Tesla there is in the game, baby. Yeah.
Hey, don't forget the T stands for Trump on the back of the Tesla.
Hey, everybody, this is Pastor Bob. My nephew died for freedom in Iraq, not for tyranny, which we have in this country right now. It's nasty, and we need to get beyond this. Stay true to our principles upon which our family, our country was founded.
George said they almost got that sign but they got it just enough where they couldn't grab it out of there.
It's funny. George grabbed the sign when I had this lady when I walked up there. A lady had a sign. We love the Constitution, and our lady had a sign, deport Elon. So I said, "Oh, I love that sign," and I said, "That's great." Yeah, and they started talking. I said, "Oh, deport Elon? You shouldn't deport Elon. He's a citizen. You can't deport." Oh, they're looking to deport all of us. Like, that's how crazy they are. So meantime, so now I said, and I was actually nice. I said, "Why would they deport you? You ladies seem like nice ladies." I was like being nice to them. Then all of a sudden I asked her a question. I forgot what the question was. The lady yells at me. It was funny. She had the Staten Island accent, so she must have came in from crowds for hire type people, and she goes, "Get out of here!" And she hits she with her Constitution thing. She goes, hits me in the face or the bus thing. She goes, hits me in the face with it. She got right near my face. I swatted that, and I felt bad because she's a woman, but you know what? You don't swing at somebody. Yeah. And 3 of the other ladies, they came like they wanted to kick me off. I said, you want to? I said, what do you want to hit me, lady? I said, you're a nut job. She goes, go find a gym. She says, like, I'm like, okay, whatever. They're crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy people. Well, George, at that rally, they parked on the side of a furniture store that wasn't even being used in the dirt. And they had their bikes and their cars there, and they called the tow truck on them, and we're going to start towing things out. And it was public parking right there. It wasn't even their private lot, but they had put their own printed sign on a post and put it there. So the cops came, and the cops wouldn't do anything about it. But they had even went into the Tesla dealer and took them donuts and everything. But that furniture guy just didn't. I can't remember the name of the furniture company, but you guys would want to boycott it if you're down in Florida. It started with a K, I think.
If they're knocking people's cars, well, I mean, I can kind of understand with a business though. You don't want your business, impacted. I do understand that, but
yeah, but they were protecting Tesla.
But I'm just saying, was it because they was it because they're anti-Trump too? Maybe they have TDS. Who knows? So yeah. Well, I mean, Elon should find out about that one because it was the furniture store, but then the Tesla dealer didn't really stick up for them either, and they were there, and they took. I think he said, was it, how do you say it? Forgiato took in red, white, and blue donuts for them, and they even went and offered some to the crazy people across. Yeah, it's funny story about Forgiato blows. So last time when my wife and I were down here in Florida, we're in Miami, and he has a convertible Rolls Royce, and he had Trump 2024 in orange stickers on the side, each side. So we come out, we go to the valet, and he was there, and my wife goes, "Oh, look at that car! It has for Trump." I looked over and I recognize it because I see him on X, and I know George knows him. So then I see him he was unpacking his car. So I walk over, I told him I was friends with George, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just talked to George." He said it was funny, but He's an interesting character. George may get him on with us one day too. He said he's funny. He's got the songs out there, all the Trump songs and stuff. He's an interesting character. He does a lot of stuff out and around Florida and stuff. But he was there to do a music video is what he was going to do when he was there.
Wow. Sean sent me this so we can put it up so you guys can see.
People are talking about Ed being, I see Mona May was talking about Ed being interviewed on Newsmax, the stock exchange. There he is this morning going in. And
it looks like he got a new suit.
It looks good.
It doesn't have the blue one on. He's got plaid this time.
Yep, it looks good. That's a cool picture, right? Newsmax right there on in front of the stock exchange and him. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah. He should make that his a new profile picture.
Yeah, it would be a good one, wouldn't it? You know, I'm going to tell for you guys that are in the audience, we're not going to do trivia today because there's no way that I can keep track. And I don't think you can, Sean, either. So you don't mind if we save it till tomorrow, do you? And then announce the winner tomorrow too?
Yeah, we could do that. Absolutely.
Unless you want to do it. Can you watch the names if I do the question?
I can watch the chat if you want. Sure, if you want to.
Absolutely. Oh, okay, then we'll do it. I didn't know. I knew you had your iPad, but I didn't know if you had a phone to be able to.
I have my phone underneath for the chat. That's how I've seen the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll do it then so we keep it regular, you know. And you guys are wait, you guys got to tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be so much fun. We're Frisky Friday. We got that crowd guy. The Rent-A-Crowd CEO. So he knows where the money's coming from for some of these Tesla protests and everything and how they're getting working it around and like the leaders, like who was it Pam Bondi said that they're going after them, and then who else? Somebody else said they were going after them tomorrow too. But anyways, I digress because I'm rambling here.
Before you do that, I just want to share a tweet I saw from Bongino, or an ex-post I saw from Bongino last night, which is pretty cool because everybody's all about Pam Bondi and everything, right?
Yeah.
And let's see if I can. Well, the post says, just because you don't immediately see it doesn't mean that it isn't happening, right? So all this stuff about, why is, matter of fact, there you go, right there. That's the post, right? So I think that's good to see because there's so many people bitching about Pam Bondi, and I get it, right? Everybody wants to see immediate gratification. We're in that world now, but things are happening, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, behind the scenes, absolutely. And they can't clue anybody in what's going on. Otherwise, everybody will know. I mean, it's kind of like an ambush, I think, when they go after those. But,
absolutely.
Okay, so this is the question. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm ready. You just got to have a quick pencil finger and write it down. But I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me to have a piece of paper. That would help, wouldn't it? All right. There's been 3 presidents that have been impeached. We know Trump is one and Clinton is one. Who was the 3rd president to be impeached? So I'll read it. So I'll do it again. There's only 3 presidents in the history that have been impeached. And one is Trump. One is Clinton. Who's the 3rd one?
Low Country's SC Patriot said Nixon. TS Money said Johnson after Lincoln. Red Ginger says Jackson. ML Heath says Nixon. Dr. Kurt Schlegel says Andrew Johnson. Jilly One says Nixon. USN Air says Jackson. Oh, my chat.
Augie said bark, bark.
My chat skipped here. Oh, here we go. D. Tath says Nixon. Florida for Trump said what I was going to say. Nixon resigned, so he didn't get impeached. Red Ginger said, oops, wrong J. Aunt Jana, Nixon. Florida for Trump says Jackson. Lisa Arquette says Johnson. Proud American Woman says Jackson. Denise says Jackson. Red Bull or Artie Bull says Andrew Johnson. Angels Unawares, Jackson. Let's see. Mark says Nixon, but there is one more, I think.
Come on, Mark.
Come on, Mark. That's not your answer. You got a better answer.
You always come up with something really crazy.
Yeah,
Nobody's
on, Mark.
doing. We're waiting on you, Mark.
Beach Cat Blues says Johnson. I think we got enough now, right?
Okay, so we're closing it out. What did Matt say?
MK Hart says Biden. We wish.
Biden, yeah, that would have been great. I wish he would have been too.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. So we'll close it out then. So then we'll do the answer tomorrow, and then like tomorrow is like what did I say that Adam Schwartz,
Man K, Jill Biden.
That's great. That's
Mark.
great.
I'm surprised that didn't come from you, actually, Mark.
Yep.
You must
Come on,
be
Mark, you're
sleeping,
slacking.
or Mark's either sleeping or he's still working very hard on the Nashville meetup, and maybe he's been pulling aside for that. Oh, Zelensky. There you go. Mark gave a good one. Zelensky. There you go.
Yeah, there's better. That's better. That's
You redeemed yourself, Mark.
Yeah, Mark's going to give us an update tomorrow on Nashville about what's going on with that because everybody wants to get their stuff going and everything.
Yep, that'll be fun.
And then tomorrow we're starting a new segment which you guys will really like because it fits right into Frisky Friday, and we got some other stuff, and then the Adam guy, and what else do we do? The trivia winner. What else goes on Friday? We'll have some good clips for tomorrow though, to go in for Frisky Friday.
Yep, you got some good stuff ready. So.
Yeah, and it'll be all of us tomorrow. It won't be just me and Sean. Mark and George will be here tomorrow too, so it'll be more like normal.
Unless George has to go to a joint session of Congress tomorrow. That we don't know about.
Next thing you know, he's gonna be running for president or something, and we'll never see him again.
He said, it's funny. He says, before the election, I'm tired. We just want to get Trump over the finish line. And I'm kind of going to relax. I don't think he's been relaxing. I think he's been working harder with stuff. He's all over the state. He's all over the place. He's doing he said Donaldson. He's got to get Byron Donaldson in for Florida. Otherwise it's going to go to hell. So that's what he's working on now. Yeah. But I don't know if you guys like the new intro reel. Let me know. I cut it down so that it's not 4 minutes long and changed it. And what I'm going to do, I've got that picture that Lana put up for you for your birthday. So like I'm going to every couple of weeks, I'm going to take newer clips and make a different reel going in so that if you get in early, you got something to watch. And so it's not the same.
I think it's good. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to see Ed every morning for 4 minutes before this comes on. Everybody watches him enough at 6. So
yeah. Well, except if you're what's her name in the condo that he was in? What was her name again?
Kim in the road. Kim, the road lady.
Yeah. We're not too far from where he is. I should go by and look for Kim right now, and get a picture of her. That'd be funny.
You got a hotel robe you can take with you from there?
Yeah. We're taking that. That would be funny. We're getting Kim on as a guest tomorrow. That would be funny.
That's inspired all them memes I made with that dang robe.
There's Lana in the background. Say hi, everybody, Lana. She's on FaceTime with her mother, showing her mother. There's a court behind us here with a nice pool and everything. It's actually a pretty nice place here. But we're heading to Miami for a couple of days, and then we'll be back here on Sunday.
Oh, you guys are killing me. Everybody's traveling, and I'm sitting here in front of the computer.
Well, it's been a while since we traveled, and it's always good to do that. But it's gonna be when we get back. I got this campaign for council, so that's why we're away now because y'all going knocking on doors.
Well, yeah, you'll get too that everybody here will support you too, even if they don't live in your district. Maybe you guys want to contribute or pass the word around on your social media for them, huh?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. So, but anyway, great show today, and looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow I may be on a balcony overlooking the ocean. That would be
that'd be nice. Yeah. I liked Lieberman though. I really liked having her on. That was kind of. She's a lot more fun than what I thought. I thought she might be a little.
I thought she was going to be a little dry because of psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Right? She was great. I thought she had a good sense of humor and she was good.
Oh, I know. When I got a hold of her, she said she was really excited. So I don't know if she had talked to because she was on Newsmax just a couple of weeks ago. So
we'll have to have her on again, especially as things develop with all this stuff with Tesla going on and all and anti-Elon stuff. So.
Well, yeah. I'm curious about how she's getting that as a diagnosable code as an actual disease, and that's where I'm getting, because if she can get that in there, they can turn that TDS, use a lot of stuff and blanket it, wrap that up in there and get for a diagnosis code.
Can you imagine somebody going out of work and getting on disability because they have in check mark I have TDS?
Yeah, it might end up being that way. You never know. You never know. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go so you can go do your thing. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And thank you, Lana, for letting us steal your husband on your vacation.
You're welcome. That's all right. It was nice. I had coffee down by the pool.
She went by the pool. She got on FaceTime with her mom. She had coffee on there. She got away from me for a little bit. It was good. Now she can spend a few more hours with me this afternoon.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for Fisky Friday. Don't forget, be ready.
Have a great day, everybody. Hit that like button on the way out, please.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. Hit the like button, please.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye-bye.